Namaste, Daaji. I'm Sumana from Bangalore. I have a question.
कुछ सुनाई नहीं देता है.
Namaste, Daaji. I'm Sumana from Bangalore. I have a question. Is knowledge of spiritual anatomy, like chakras, levels, and points, are all required for God realization?
Knowledge of anything is not required for God realization. What you need is a heart, pure heart. But our tendency is such that as we go on a journey, for example, you are on a tour of a forest or a circus or a city, you should be able to describe what you have seen. Likewise, as we pass on through our various spiritual chakras, we should be able to at least witness and describe various nuances. Otherwise, you are unconsciously taking mother's milk, unaware who is feeding you at the middle of night. See? So I would not prefer such a state. We are all grown up. Though spiritual growth, as you might like to say, is wanting in most of us, and which is required today. That, yesterday we mentioned about various things that we can note down in our diaries. I did mention some things about vibrations, clockwise movement or anti-clockwise movement. The color that we see, reddish tinge or bluish tinge or yellow, they all have some significance. So we need to observe all these things. Also, whether you are restless or you are more focused or you are filled with love for God, or the entire existence, though they are synonymous, the experience will be very crystal clear. Next thing would be, what was the state of mind of the transmitter? For example, what was master going through, or the preceptor? Where from did he transmit? What he intended and what happened? These are very high level of sensitivity. But minimal, at least I should be able to say I felt lightness here or heaviness here. At least that much we should be able to narrate. So, yes, to answer your questions very briefly, is this knowledge required in God realization? Not at all. But your journey will become very exciting and adventurous when you participate consciously in this whole game. Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, Daaji.
Good morning.
My name is Sachin Dhariwal. When things happen, good or bad, you like it or not, for or against, our Jain Guru says, ये तो आपकी पुनवानी है. When we talk to Vedic astrologers, they give guidance based on your birth chart, your nature, your overall, how you're going to go about in life. This 2021 has my understanding about conscious mind, subconscious mind, and beyond this has been a revelation that there is something beyond what you can experience and go through about it. So my question is, does heartfulness practice, as it raises the consciousness level, this part of your Punwani thing or the astrological aspect of your guidance become irrelevant and then you are on your own, or they still play some kind of role in your life, in your journey?
Thank you.
Thank you.
This observation is very critical for our understanding and dissecting our lifestyle. See. Whenever we came, especially NRIs, they have this fancy that child should be conceived in India. This just because the souls in the other part of the world, they think that devilish or dark side exists in them, which is questionable things. So once I asked our Guruji, say, what is important? The place of conception, or birth of conception, or time of conception? He said, none of this. Astrologically speaking, time and birthplace, they do play a part, no doubt. But that is when the child is taken the birth. But that is much more crucial that the Atman, with a particular samskars, baggage of samskars, package of samskars, has already taken a birth in mother's womb. It has already descended with a package of its own destiny. This destiny is nothing but previous karmas, aggregate of karmas. So, place of birth and time of birth, though they play a significant role, but the major thing is this package, how it unfolds in day-to-day life. Now, he says the most important thing is the attitude of parents at the moment of conception. If they are mating with so much of passion, losing themselves like animals, then the soul which are attracted towards such a womb will match that frequency, the vibrations of parents at that moment of intimacy. But if this couple is prayerful, reverential, and with conscious mind trying to attract a soul, that soul will have a different caliber. Its destiny will also unfold differently. So, we say moon has its effect on our system. Full moon has lunatic effect, right? Good or creative work becomes very profound at that time. At the same time, most crime also occurs on full moon night. People go crazy. Some people become too ecstatic in a nice way. Some people go crazy in becoming violent. So it magnifies everything on full moon night. So we cannot deny the planetary effect. Physically speaking, the gravitational pull which occurred on the end of 2000 or 2001 when Gujarat had that earthquake in Kutch Bhuj. On that day, it was predicted in Gujarati Panchang that on this particular day there will be a massive earthquake. And that was predicted based on these few planets like Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and also the moon. They were in linear position, directly on one side. So there was a greater pull on the Earth's crust, and they were perpendicular to this area of Bhuj, pulling Earth crust, shaking the Earth and created earthquake. Similarly, it has a physiological impact on our blood pressure, on our other neuronal hormones that excites our moods or depresses moods. So some people tend to change all their moods based on these cycles. So to some extent it is okay. But if that package as we call samskars, it's such that it remains invincible, unaffected by all these external things. You see? So the attitude of parents is much more important than place of birth or the planetary position at that time. I share with you one story from Mahabharata. Satyavati. She was worried that the throne will remain empty. So she requested these queens to undergo what we call sperm donation by third party. Today's world we call, from the sperm bank, we borrow you want atlas sperms or you want scientist sperms or, intellectually we invite such individuals, select the father. So likewise, she also selected sage Vyasa. And it was done in such a way that particular muhurtam is taken advantage of for the inception. When the Vyasa was summoned, he had to follow the orders. He goes to the first queen's chamber. She's aghast looking at his dress and attire because he came straight from the forest. They mated. But during the mating, she felt so disgusted. She closed her eyes, but not with this guy. Okay. Next queen, another muhurtam. She felt pale. Her blood circulation stopped almost. So now in both cases what happens? Third case was Dasi. These two queens were very smart that in order to avoid this exercise again, let's request this maid to undergo the same thing so that if perchance she conceives, we will keep this guy as a prince on the throne. Now here in this case of maid, she felt honored. She felt, how lucky am I, see, that I'm fortunate to mate with a greatest sage on the planet. So her attitude changed the incoming soul's character. She invited Vidur. The first queen invited Dhritarashtra, soul. And the second queen invited Pandu's soul. He was leucodermic. So the attitude at the moment of conception determines the quality of incoming soul. So youngsters, be careful. But this moment of intimacy is so overpowering that most people, they lose their normal sense. They become too restless. So one has to remain poised. And this poise, you cannot fabricate at the last minute. It has to become your nature. So the calmness, poise, peacefulness, confidence, courage, all should be inculcated from the very beginning. We don't teach the lessons of romance, but we teach the positive lessons of how to remain poised. So one day, when such moments do arise, you are poised no matter what. So to answer your question, what is most important is attitude. Attitude actually drives our entire life. Be it meditation, even in meditation, suppose there must be some children here. Some of them meditate because my father says, "Bete, thoda dhyan kar le, अच्छा होगा." माँ चिल्लाती है, मैं ध्यान नहीं करता हूँ तो वो रोती है. Emotional blackmailing. So just to satisfy parents, they close their eyes and sit. But they are not inviting transmission. I used to also feel sometimes when a preceptor goes over a period, more than, let us say, 45 minutes or more than 1 hour, the sitting drags on, like, see, and you pray, Babuji, please, end the sitting. So at that time, I used to think, I used to feel, वैसे भी बैठना है, might as well sit joyfully. Would you jump out of the plane when it is in turbulence? You'll make it worse. So, there are meditations where you feel internally turbulence also. Oh, abhi ye kab khatam hota hai, and I get up and go. But why are you rushing? Be at peace. Invite the transmission lovingly. See? When something is forced unto you, you tend to end it fast. And when you joyfully invite it, it speaks for itself. When you eat joyfully versus father smacks your head and says, you better eat this. There's a big difference. So attitude plays a big role. See, even in studies, you are interested in study. That makes a difference. You are forced to study, that's another matter. When you are working for someone or someone is working for you, their attitude also makes a big difference. Your commitment to your boss, your loyalty to your boss, they speak volumes. And same thing, the attitudes of the boss to the employees. They also speak a volume. It creates a kind of culture in an organization, see. So attitude drives our life, not these planetary positions. Thank you. Thank you. I think enough, and all the best to these newlyweds, and pranams to you all. From 1st of January, we are launching a very special program. It is to integrate our overall health, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. Most of us who have been meditating for years and years and years, we tend to forget our responsibility towards this physical body. Even things like when you meditate and sometimes your head drops for hours together. And if you calculate this dropping of the head for hours together, in 1 year what happens? Your nerves get stretched here, they become weak, your muscles become weak here, and you become like me, vertigo patient. You don't want that. So exercise, your neck muscles especially should be stronger. Exercise well. So from 1st of January, in cooperation with the program launched by Ministry of Ayush, Patanjali Yoga Pith led by Yoga Rishi Sri Baba Ramdev, and our Heartfulness organization will join hands together. Babaji will begin the session with Surya Namaskar and will end it with Dhyan, meditation. I recommend that before sunrise, let's do Dhyan first. And at the moment of sunrise, get up from your Dhyan. So that means I have to finish my meditation before the sunrise. The moment of sunrise, offer your Surya Namaskar. This also coincides from 1947 when we got our independence, and 2022, 75 years will be completed. So Ayush has requested that aggregate of 75 crore namaskaram, if our citizens can perform, it will be a great tribute. We take advantage of this to establish overall swasthya. Overall swasthya. Swasthya means health, total health. Swa-asthya, one who is settled within himself. Settled within oneself. I'll share with you a story, a little and a small example. That when you are riding a bicycle, you will be able to witness something while you are riding a bicycle depending on your speed. If you are driving, there will be lesser things to witness. If you are in a flight, hardly anything to witness except clouds. And if you are on a supersonic flight, where London to, if you leave London at 7 in the morning, you reach New York at 5 in the morning, you gain 2 hours. Those were the days when there was supersonic flight. And you see nothing, the windows are also closed. And if you can travel at the speed of light, imagine your mother-in-law, your mother, or your wife has the capacity to travel at the speed of light in your own house. She'll be watching you every second. You will have no private moment. So this is the speed we talk about in the physical world. Our mind is much more fast. It's faster than you can imagine, faster than anything in this universe. That's why we call people with fast minds are monkey minds. They don't settle. So settling is required. Yogi's mind is always settled in self, swasthya, whose mind is settled in the center. Taking advantage of beginning of 2022, 1st of January, we launched this program. Janus, Roman gods, Greek gods rather, is also symbolical, mythological figure. It has 2 heads. This god Janus, his statue, if you see, one is looking this way, another looking this way. It is also significant in a way when 2022 dawns upon us. We look backward as well as forward. As such, in Sahajmarg Paddhati, every evening before going to bed, we look backward also, trying to introspect our daily activity and see where we have gone wrong. And promise ourselves that I shall not repeat this mistake again. That is true introspection. And things that we have done well, we revise it also and see how can I make it better. Then we submit our diaries in summary form to masters every month. If you see Daaji Maharaj's diary, he summarizes his diary every month. He need not send to me because millions of people sending me, I don't think I have the ability to go through all that. But if there is any significant moment, you can always address it to me. At the end of the year, let's all scan our activities, personal, business-wise, spiritual life as well, where we have gone wrong, short-changed ourselves, and where we can improve. So we make a resolution, New Year's resolutions. Sadly lacking amongst all meditators is this aspect of ignoring our physical health. Do Surya Namaskaram, also perform pranayamas. If you read Reality at Dawn, Babuji has clearly said, though Patanjali's Ashtanga Yoga starts with Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. In Sahajmal, we begin with Dhyan. That does not mean we ignore the first initial steps. Babuji says we incorporate them later in life. That does not mean towards the end of life. Once you become comfortable with your daily sadhana, incorporate other elements as you can go along. So pranayama and asanas are very significant to our health, and you can try it and see what happens. Only thing is change and establish that you finish meditation before sunrise, and afterward you can do all these things. Surya Namaskar, pranayams, and get back to your normal activities of life. This will maintain overall swasthya. So you invite your friends, family members, those of you who are dealing with schools all across India, invite those students and faculties, university students and faculties, those who are involved with corporate connect program of Heartfulness. Invite those people. Invite in the sense, inform them. We'll be sharing with you the videos of how to properly do this Surya Namaskaram. And also those who are new to meditation will teach them how to relax and how to meditate. So please spread this word. In this regard, to accelerate and intensify this program, Baba Ramdev ji will be here on 3rd Jan, as well as Minister of Ayush is also expected at that time. Because of this social distancing and Omicron regulations, we will limit our numbers, maintaining our social distance. Then we can use all our satellite stations and other outer areas. But we will not entertain more than 1,500 participants during the session. So kindly cooperate, because we have to cooperate and follow the local state regulations as well. They have already declared, Telangana government, that no congregation on New Year and Makar Sankranti. So we need to respect that and follow the protocol. So looking forward to you all on 3rd. Thank you.